Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing the beautiful Keira Maguire's makeup and I'm starting off by hydrating her skin with the INNIS Free Green Tea Mist. Then I'm going in with the Edible Beauty Vanilla Silk Lotion and I'm just going to rub that into the skin and make sure it is nice and freshly hydrated for makeup. Now I'm going to add the Patchology Illuminating Eye Gel Masks underneath Keira's eyes just for a little bit of extra hydration. Now it's time to prep the eyes. I'm going to take a concealer brush by ZOEVA and Tarte Shape Tape in light medium, and I'm just going to run that all the way up to the brow bone, and we're going to make sure that the skin is really nice and even, and then we're going to pat over with some translucent powder by Kat Von D. Using a synthetic angled brush by ZOEVA and DIPBROW in Blonde by ANASTASIA Beverly Hills, I'm just going to softly fill in Keira's brows to make them nice and full, ready for our eyeshadow and our lashes. So just to keep everything balanced. Then I'm going to use the GARBO and Cali Clear Brow Gel and we're going to set it all together. Okay, first palette we're going to dip into is the Keira palette, which is the Grab and Glow palette by Harlotte Cosmetics. And we're just going to pick up a few shades. I'm going to start off with this caramel shade called Lush and then Rose. And we're going to press that onto the eyes with a flat shader brush by ZOEVA just to build up as much pigment as possible. So I'm just pressing that onto the eye and layering up the product. Using a 228 by ZOEVA, I'm just going to blend that off and make sure there's no harsh lines and just softly bring it up a little higher on Keira's eyes. Just to push out that pigment a little more, I'm going to take the same flat shader brush and dip into my NARS Ignite palette, and I'm just going to press that over the eye just to build up a little bit more pinkiness, a little bit more rosiness that I didn't quite get from the caramel shade. So I just wanted to make it a little bit more pinkier. Open up the eye a little more. I'm adding 212 Model Rock lashes and I'm sticking them down to the lash line. And now I'm going to go in with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream, and just to hydrate the under eye a little more, I'm going to apply that just really softly with my fingers. This is going to help with any dryness or any cakiness underneath the eyes and just make them look a lot more softer and hydrated. Now to prep the skin, I'm going in with Confidence in a Cream by IT Cosmetics, which is just going to add to a little bit more hydration on the skin, and I'm going to apply that with my fingers as well just to really rub it into Keira's skin and make it look really nice and soft and fresh and just really add to that nice dewy effect that I want. For the second time, I'm using the Ordinary Full Coverage Foundation, which I find actually dries a little bit more dewier, or I don't know if that was because of the product I used underneath it, but I'm just applying that with a foundation brush by ZOEVA, which I will put the number in the description box below. And I'm just slowly working up the coverage of that product. So I found that it was quite buildable. The more I applied, the more full coverage I was getting. So I'm just going back over and making sure everything's really nice and buffed in and it doesn't look cakey. Now I'm taking my NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard and I'm applying that directly from the applicator just to get as much coverage as possible. And I'm taking that all the way down the sides of the nose, around the eyes, and just underneath there just to make it look really nice and fresh and bright in photos. And now just taking a beauty blender, I'm making sure that it's all nicely blended off and patting and pressing the product into the skin. A flat powder brush by ZOEVA and the Kat Von D Lock-It Translucent, I'm just pressing the powder underneath the eyes. I found this was so helpful to stop creasing underneath the eyes. It just worked really, really well, this technique, so I loved it. Because I'm absolutely loving the Fenty Beauty bronzers, I'm taking Island Ting and I'm going to go around the perimeters of Keira's face. So I'm going to start off with the forehead, just shading really softly to create that really nice definition and bronzy effect. And then I'm going to go down the contours of the cheeks with an angled MAC brush, just to give me a little more definition. And then I'm going to go in and contour the sides of the nose. So I'm going to take a small shader brush by ZOEVA to do that and just to create a small shadow just to give us a bit more definition. With a cheek brush by ZOEVA, I'm dipping into Rose from Keira's palette and I'm just going to add a little bit of apricot, a little bit of peachiness to the apples of Keira's cheeks, which really, really suits her skin tone. It looks so beautiful against her blue eyes, so I love applying that just in the apples of the cheeks. Moving on to highlighter, I'm just taking a fan brush by ZOEVA and dipping into Keira's palette again and just adding that little bit of highlight on tops of the cheekbones. Just makes such a huge difference, makes everything look really nice and glowy. I'm taking a little bit on the forehead as well because I did want to create that really nice dewy skin, so that's why I'm adding to the highlighting, but I don't recommend to do this step if you are oily. I would leave out this step and just keep it on the cheeks. Just taking a pencil brush, I'm going to add a little bit of that highlight in the inner corners of Keira's eyes just to make them pop. Now to create that really nice smokiness under the eye, I'm taking a pencil brush by ZOEVA and dipping into my Naked Reloaded palette, and I'm just going to apply that really nice brown shimmery kind of ready tone to the bottom of the eyes to make them pop. Now to create an ombre lip, I've used Blooming Impression by ZOEVA, and I've just applied that on the outer parts of Keira's lips just to create a really nice darker ombre kind of effect. And then I'm going in with Maybelline Poet mixed in with a little bit of NARS. Oh, I don't remember the gloss name, but I will put it in the description box below. And I'm just applying that and then going over and making sure that the line is really nice and defined. I'm using the Cover FX Illuminating Spray, and I'm going to set that all together and spray Keira's face, and then we are all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this glam. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye!